Welcome to Inwards Outwards, an open mic event at Deb Kaufman's Art Space, featuring storytellers, poets, musicians, and performers from Berkshire County.
Inwards, outwards. Inwards.
All right, everybody.
Sitting right next to you.
I think I will officially begin. Mute us all. Mute all. And officially welcome you all to IWOW, September 1st, 2020. I trust everybody voted that needed to vote. Okay, the theme tonight is poetry. As you know, you don't have to use the theme. And I am recording this, so you'll get the, recording on CTSB. They're really fabulous about, figuring all that out, so I don't have to. Okay, and when I call your name, pretty much, I think you all got a list, but I'll call your name and you can unmute yourself, please, and then mute yourself. And I am going to go first. And I'm going to read a little bit from The Magic Lamp. Once upon a time, there was a magic lamp. The lamp didn't know it was magic. It didn't think it had any power at all, until the artist pointed out its magic powers. "You have great power," said the artist. "How is it that I have great power and I don't even know it?" asked the lamp. "You have your imagination. That is your power." "How does this imagination work?" asked the lamp. "I'll show you," said the artist. And the artist made some space so the lamp could see its imagination. Imagine you are supported in the perfect place. This is where you feel safe on a firm and solid base. And the lamp imagined. Imagine you are surrounded by love and peace and calm. Pretend that all that is like a soothing balm. And the lamp imagined. Imagine you are connected to the absolute right source. There is no distraction that can steer you off your course. And the lamp imagined. Imagine you are a gift with treasures deep inside. All the things you love to do, share them far and wide. Thank you. Okay. On deck is Jim Lawrence. Up next is Deborah Phelps.
Hi, I'm going to read two acrostic poems. The first letter of each word in every stanza spells the title of the poem. My first poem is Black Lives Matter. Blacks legitimately angry, capital kleptocracy, locked in vaults, equity sequestered, making attempts to transition effectively rare. Boys looking at cops, kowtow, living in violent, explosive situations, mad, angry, taut, terrorized, enraged, restless. Blue license affords criminal cops kindred lawyers, interpreting vicious enforcement standards masterfully aimed toward targeted, encumbered races. Brown, Latino, Asian, Caucasian kin, living in volatile environments, sadly must avoid traitorous targeters, endemically racist. Bystanders, lambasting aggressive cops killing limpsy individuals, videotape excruciating scenes, morbid, abominable, tragic, terrifying, egregious, reprehensible. Beware lofty accounts, cagey knowledge. Listen intently, verifying each story. Make actionable tactics transcend entrenched rants. Begin loving, accepting, caring. Keep learned, intelligent views engaged sincerely. Mindfully acknowledge truth. Trade euphemisms responsibly. My second poem is Climate Change. Credible luminaries illuminating mankind about threatened environments, calling on humanitarian awakening, noble guardianship, erudition. Critics lob insults meant absolutely to expunge crucially honest assessments, notably grave, earnest. Conjuring language intoning magical, abject thinking equivocally. Cockwomble, heralding aberrant nonsense, genuinely erroneous. Concerned logicians, intelligent, measured, authoritative, trumpet examples challenging humans' aggressively narcissistic, glib entitlement. Casual listening invites mild acceptance, threatening environmental collapse, hampering any normative global effects. All while credible luminaries illuminate mankind about threatened environments and call for humanitarian awakening, noble guardianship, erudition.
Thank you, Deborah. On deck is Amelia. Up now is Jim Lawrence.
This is called Ghosts for Burning. Maybe I wandered awake again in morning dark, skin simmering. Maybe it is not for you I burn, but a soul from the Twin Towers, blasted from its body by wing-borne conflagration, rocketed through the ether, crushed, flaming, lost inside me now, to quake and tremble in confused horror. Does memory of the searing bath of burning fuel, the JP-4 that dropped those buildings like giraffes sinking into quicksands, now scorch my skin? I was so sure it was your ghost, but this burning. I asked for something I had so often given you. Reassurance, nothing more. This should not a pyre make of a lover's bed. You crashed down the phone forever, immolated the ship we had launched to sing the hot night wind between half moon, stars, and the amber fog of night town glow below. 3 weeks and no word. New York came. Stranded in the broken heartland, I haunted my answering machine. No call from you. Only emails waiting at home. Once the planes flew again. Emails, oh, flaky Valentine, ashen letters on my dead white screen. Now into other skies you fly, pointing that righteous finger still, prowling for other buildings, other skins to set aflame. A ghost, yours or the one from the towers, kicks when I lay me down, my soul to keep. I start awake, say, what? To night gloom, gray walls, drift off, woozy, a shock to the belly. What? What do you want? Then images of you and a fireman looking up, the rain of doom descending. Then us kissing our way, corner by corner, red light by red light down State Street, those happy little crashing jumps you made into me, as if our bodies were opposite poles attracting. Now the towers have melted down, polarity repels, ghosts wail, skin burns. The haunt of you smokes like New York, like the top of the water tank on the mountain where we wove our song into amber lights and moonlit Milky Way. I went back there with matches and an earthen bowl. I burned your pictures, read and burned your hollow words one by one, sent their smoke up to the burning night, the high twinkling red-green lights of the last safe airliner dotting east into the blackened sky. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you. On deck is Kim Kaufman. Up now is Amelia.
Muted, unmuted. Hi, everyone. It's good to see you all. Yeah, happy September 1st. The first poem that I like is Wayne Dwyer's often quoted Rumi, and it's The morning breeze has secrets to tell. Don't go back to sleep. And I just love it because it gets me out of bed and I get on my deck and I just greet the morning throughout the summer, and it's glorious. So, but my favorite is Heifetz, same century, same deep, beautiful way of looking at life. The one I really like is Your Mother and My Mother. Fear is the cheapest room in the house. I would like to see you living in better conditions. For your mother and my mother were friends. I know the innkeeper in this part of the universe. Get some rest tonight. Come to my verse again tomorrow. We'll go speak to the friend together. I should not make any promises right now, but I know if you pray, somewhere in this world, something good will happen. God wants to see more love and playfulness in your eyes, for that is your greatest witness to him. Your soul and my soul once sat together in the beloved's womb, playing footsies. Your heart and my heart are very, very old friends. That's dedicated to Dana Beth. And she passed away on Friday. I took care of her when she was an infant. And I will miss her terribly. So thank you, guys. Bowing out.
Thank you, Amelia. On deck is Simon, and up now is Kim.
I am very happy to finally make it here live. Yay!
Live, yeah.
I am reading Ode to My Liver. Weightlifter, lobed lump, toxic dump. Why do I forget that you work for me willingly? You play so fat and sweet. Hold up your side of the middle. You take my world apart, put it back together. You sit listening to stories pumped direct from the gut. You accept you are powerless to direct my behavior. Believe in the power to restore balance. You are the attendee and God sitting in the same seat, metabolizing the noxious and the noble. I see you side-lying on a chaise, the shoulder and hip of a naked woman, so relaxed, so voluptuous, so mountainous, shifting hues undulate under your smooth skin. Or busy working in that lofty factory, workers packed in room upon room. They transform random particles into meaningful phrases, make allegories out of hand to mouth, mouth to stomach, stomach to belly, belly to liver, liver to body. My benefactor, my patron, my inner chorus. If only I could hear the complex melodies, the chemical levels calibrated, the waste reduced, the chorus of vital functions, the basses fat tones, the tenors facile octaves, the sweet soprano, the tunes of hexagons rung from rusty pipes. Or maybe you're singing Blood Clot Purple, the fire of infection, Billy Rubin Yellow, an abstract painting on the inside as only the liver's brush can. Traffic director, engineer, city planner. In a honeycomb of activity, you sing the passionate opera of my metabolic history. My hot anger stomping the beat, toxins flowing toward tenderness to touch, excess yellowing my eyes. Let my heart shiver, my lungs weep, my capillaries tremble. Let the heat of your furnace burn off impediments until I am pure, blood running, salty and cool. Hold my eyeballs until they fall back into the soft bed of my skull. You taste the infinite and reduce it to essence. Where will I end if not for your pockets holding my hands, my tongue, my errant blood? Could I navigate this hungry world without you? Who would herald the boundaries of my being? Who would tether me to gravity?
Thank you, Kim. Welcome to iWow. That was the first time you performed?
Yes.
Yay! Okay, on deck is Deborah Macheski, and up now is Simon Layton. Also first time, I think, right, Simon?
That's right, yes. I've been as an audience member a number of times, but very pleased to have found the courage and the opportunity to, to share with all of you. So on Saturday, I was in Deb's art class, and we were paying attention to little things, little objects, and my attention fell on this little USB cable that I have, and so I wrote this this poem. Oh, and I'm going to share an image. Okay. Okay, I hope you can see that. Is that working? Okay, all right. A USB cable awakening, part 1. I'm only a USB cable, what can I do? I cannot access the internet and do computations like a laptop can. I cannot display a book like a Kindle can. I wish just to be close to that kind of glory. There is a storm, so I will go into this port, and I will moor myself to this tome. Without knowing it, the USB cable had made the connection between the laptop and the Kindle. All of a sudden, a whole book worth of words passed through her body. It was such a delicious feeling. She wanted to hold on to the beautiful words, but she could not. The words passed through, and then they stopped. And she lay under the moon and sky in wonder. I am not a laptop, and I am not a Kindle, but I am a USB cable, and that is good. Part 2. She remembered the feeling of being connected. She could see deep inside the laptop all the little doodads and bebops. She said, "Oh my goodness, the laptop is made of many little things, just like me. And when I am plugged in, I see that I am connected with them all. The laptop and the Kindle are made of little things, just like me. The USB cable slept well that night, under the moon and stars and the colorful universe of doodads and bebops. Part 3. She dreamed that night. She realized, I am not just a USB cable. I am also a river running through the misty hills of Western Scotland, heading for the cold Atlantic. A caterpillar suspended improbably on an invisible thread and swaying in the breeze. A slender snake slithering through the tall grass after supper. I am waves of sound, waves of light, waves of water, electromagnetic waves, microwaves, radio waves. I warm your coffee and bring you Krista Tippett speaking of faith. I am undulating, I am slithering, I am boundless, I am a USB cable. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Simon.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's our first screen share ever, isn't it, Deb?
I don't know. Could be. Okay, let's
I
see.
think RT did one once. I think
Yes,
on our first
RT,
one,
right.
RT did one.
Yeah, you're right.
But the smoothest one, Ted, that was the smoothest one.
So on deck is Frank Gioia. Up now is Deborah Macheski.
Okay, I want to read 2 poems. The first one is for the pandemic. I spent your inheritance on food and toilet paper. Now what is left? A few scraps of paper and the stubby end of an old pencil. How about a picture to remember me by? You know, the collage with the stone head that you liked. The watercolor background looked precious, painted the color of saffron. Will it hang on the wall or languish in the corner? Kind of like Auntie's old watercolor of a lady bending forward while sitting in a shaded rowboat. The paper is yellowed now after 10 years wrapped away in a forgotten box. Another day passes and I am still here fighting my way forward, hanging on so no one will wear my favorite turquoise necklace close to their heart. They can't think what the future holds for me, a battle with pain and early departure before the gray of winter creeps into my skin and my eyes grow hooded. Now I remember all your names. The future holds distance, much time breathing in the quiet darkness all around me. The second poem, I actually first read this last September, but I feel like it's still really important to me. This is my spiderweb poem. There are delicate threads, iridescent in color, finer than the most subtle fishing line. These hold me here on this earth, like a spider web covered in dewdrops that glisten like jewels, smaller in size than the softest tears. The dew washes over me and nourishes me. The threads of the web enrobe me and comfort me. Attached at the other ends of each of these is one of my friends. I am linked to their hearts or their fingers or their toes. I float above the earth like a kite, drifting in a breeze on a bright summer day. Only the slightest bit of tension is needed, reminding me that I am loved and cared for and supported. Sometimes I drift into a tenuous place, trying to catch a glimpse of my future. I pull at the threads in a childish attempt to avoid the truth or my responsibilities. Yet, I feel seen and honored by simple eye contact, a smile, or a few kind words. But one false move and it is as if all balance is lost, and I will tumble to the ground. Yet the tendrils of the web catch me at my ankles and wrists and wrap around my heart. Even as I get caught up in my physical pain and fear, I feel protected and held in love, for each thread is strong like the thickest iron chain, resisting any of my thoughts of release or escape. So I remain here, linked to this earth and to all of you. Thank you.
Thanks, Deborah. Thanks, hon. On deck is Susie Kaufman. Up now is Frank Gioia.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
This is an excerpt from a piece called Poker Face. My kid brother Joe, a former corporate guy at Chase Manhattan, probably never read a poem in his life. But watching him play poker was poetry in motion. He and some of the guys are hanging out on our stoop in front of the house. It's where we first threw a pink rubber Spalding against the steps. Now it's where we meet to smoke a Lucky, look cool. They are playing cards for nickels and dimes, dealer's choice. Joe shuffles, executes a bridge that whistles and says, 7-card stud, one-eyed Jack's wild, ante up. The pot holds 50 cents. He deals each player 3 cards down and instructs them. Roll your own. They are hunched over like question marks, hoping and praying while my brother deals from the deck. First king bets, he says, and deals another card. Pair of kings, a 4 to the 5, a deuce to the tray, and another king. Dealer draws a 10. Check it out, he says. A pair of dimes, baby. Let the posing begin. The roll fits him like a new pair of dress socks. He deals another card. No help for the cowboys. An ace to my left and a bullet for the 10s. Still kings bet. Kings bet a quarter, someone says. Bump you a quarter, my brother replies. Will they never learn? The guy probably has 2 pair. My brother needs aces over to beat his kings. Before and after the last card, there are betting rounds. Joe raises both times. You feel for the other guy. It's slipping away. What do you got? Asked the dealer. King's over, the guy says. My brother turns over the one-eyed Jack of spades, reaches for the pot, his last down card, 3 10s. The guy had 10s in the hole, thought he had a chance, hoping against hope. It's hard to admit sometimes, but my kid brother is the best fucking card player on the block. A shark. Nobody even comes close. I mean, he could be down a pound and you wouldn't know it. His affect never changes. Plus, he's a lucky son of a bitch. I take a seat, but not to play. Just to sit and watch, waiting for the time when he gives me the signal, when it's time to pick up his winnings, count the change. The afternoon wears on and the pile of nickels and dimes and quarters grows larger. It's getting near 5 when he lifts his chin, just barely raises his eyes. Slowly I get up, stretch toward the sky, and head inside to tell my mom. She's looking in the refrigerator, surveying the leftovers. He's up at least $10, I say, maybe more. She gets a serene look, goes to the door and yells, Joe, it's time to eat. Make this the last hand. And all the losers groan. Fuck, man, you just can't quit when you're ahead? Like hell I can't, he says. Gotta eat. Hey, no worries, guys. Just remember, tomorrow's another day. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. That's great. Okay, let's see. Keith is on deck and Susie Kaufman's up next.
Cute. Hi. This is called Unmasked. My son's visit, his virus-defying flight from Minnesota to see his mother, me all heartache and yearning, cast a rainbow over my red house in Stockbridge. I could never have imagined how the rain of my anguish at not being able to touch him would filter through the sunlight of our love for one another, rendering me sleepless and unable to eat. Every day we would set out in 2 cars to sit by the river or climb the hill at Ashantulli looking out over the Tyringham Valley. He would bring his digital recorder so he could ask me questions about family history or about his childhood. I would bring the paradox of the pain in my stomach and my maternal rapture at being with him, one on top of the other, like indigo and violet. The pandemic and the coming election have unmasked me. Against my better judgment, I am being revealed to myself. Whatever I feel big, and sometimes it's not pretty. I have said things to people I had no idea I was going to say. Everything seems to contain its opposite now, or some unexpected version of itself. Summer contains winter, or at least the anticipation of winter. Crazy love contains unimaginable pain. The present contains the past. Time won't allow itself to be stopped in its tracks, pushpin to the calendar. COVID time is both largo, slow, days oozing through meditation practice, exercise regimens, random long books, and at the same time, wavelengths intersecting presto fast as I watch my life recede, my future shrink. Time is trying to con me into thinking that it's standing still, but I know better. I sometimes wonder if time itself is lost, homeless and destitute, as the outlines of its Thursdays and Sundays have been smudged, all images reverting to sepia. 30 hours without power last month, and I was suddenly homesteading in candlelight, forced to retire at sundown without the familiar garbagey nighttime entertainments. All summer, through the voluptuous flood of sunlight, I have seen winter advancing unmasked down the road. What has kept me mentally intact, the open doors and windows, the half-naked walks up Bean Hill, will soon end. I'm not usually afflicted with this dread of the cold, the gray, the sleet. I look forward to a certain amount of retreating, bundling up, staying home, but I'm already staying home. I have nothing to retreat from. If I get any more intimate with myself, my own bodily habits, I will turn inside out. And what will I do then? I have already seen how the pandemic and this moment in America strip away illusions like old paint. Where is the poetry in this? I can only think that it's further down in the fossil record, that I have to keep on digging. It seems that I haven't scratched the surface of personality yet. My real self, who I am, enmeshed in joy and sadness with the larger life, with all of life, is still waiting longingly for me to show up.
Thank you, Susie. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, on deck, Kate and Robert. I guess there's no Justin tonight, huh? Okay, and up now is Keith Emmerling.
It is undeemed that we all feather into dust in twilight slime.
Keith, you're freezing. Can you, is he freezing for other people?
Children, this is world names.
Can you start over?
He's freezing for all of us, I think.
Freezing for all of us. Start over.
Okay. I have partly unstable internet connection, it tells me, so I'll try again.
That's
It
better.
is undeemed that we It is undeemed that we all feather into dust in twilight's last gleam, nonpartisan and unprincipled, interlock in tortured extreme, longing for fate to undo this regime. Tell not our children this is the world, it seems. Sell not our souls to corporate teams. The long faithful to democracy in all its glory are now telling quite a different story. Be great or be small has ruined us all. The difference, it seems, between us is so very great, as we can see from state to state. If love is the way, then maybe we'll see the day when we all live together, and it's at least in spirit anyway. Galvanize your strength and vote any way you can, for the goal of it all is to get rid of this man.
Bravo. Thank you, Keith.
Sure.
Bravo. Okay, let's see. Dan, do you think you might want to go after Kate and Robert? He doesn't look like he's quite there. So Joan Embry's on deck, and Kate and Robert.
I'm in for
in.
after.
You're
Yes.
in. Okay, so you're on deck, and Kate and Robert are up next.
All right. Can you hear us?
Yes, we can.
All right. Here's a song called Leave the Books Behind.
Walking through the world with one hand, blotting out the sun, and another on mine. I find protection in a mansion of the mind. But I've danced under the open sky. I've been beyond and back in the blinking of an eye. And I don't need to hide in a mansion of the mind. We can hear the sound of silent talking. Read the poetry in motion. Rest your mind between the lines, see through the bind, and leave the books behind. It's not here, not there. It's not anywhere that you can see with eyes open, or the mind can understand. It's at the end of ends. Look on it when it comes around again. And listen to the sound of silent talking. Read the poetry in motion. Rest your mind between the lines, see through the bind, and leave the books behind. It's a lovely day. I think I'll make my way to the edges of the ledger, like I'll leave off from the page. And I don't even care if I vanish in the air. If I vanish in the air.
Thank you.
Well, it was beautiful. Thank you, guys. Thank you. On deck is Joan Embry. Up now is Dan Ruderman. And Sophia, or just Dan?
Just Dan. I may do stuff to her, but it's just me. So can you guys hear me okay? Thumbs up?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, I've dawdled. I've played with poetry and stuff before in the past, and for the last year or so, I've thought about wanting to write songs, but I'm not musical, and I'm not writing songs. So what I started to do is to start to remember some of the songs I like and actually learn their words. I don't know if anybody else has ever experienced liking a song, but only having like 2 lines or 3 lines in your head that you just repeat all the time because you don't know the rest of them. and then it's embarrassing that sometimes they're wrong. But so with that said, home is where I want to be. Pick me up and turn me around. I feel numb, born with a weak heart. I guess I must be having fun. The less we say about it, the better. We'll make it up as we go along. Feet on the ground, head in the sky. It's okay. I know nothing's wrong. Nothing. Oh, I got plenty of time. Oh, you got light in your eyes. And you're standing here beside me. I love the passing of time. Never for money, only for love. Cover up and say goodnight. Home is where I want to be, but I guess I'm already here. I come home, she lifted up her wings. I guess this must be the place. I can't tell one from the other. I find you, or you find me. There was a time before we were born. If someone asks, this is where I'll be. Oh, we drift in and out. Oh, sing into my mouth. Out of all these kinds of people, you have a face with a view. I'm just an animal looking for a home and share the same space for a moment or two. And you love me till my heart stops. You love me till I'm dead. Eyes that light up, eyes that look through you, cover up the blank spots. Hit me on the head. Oh.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
And Sophia.
my partner / victim.
Yeah, performer. Okay. Julie, you're on deck, and Joan Embry, you're up now. You were unmuted.
She's muted.
Yeah. Joan, you're muted.
Now, am I muted?
No, you're unmuted. You're good. We can hear you.
Should I be on the screen? No, doesn't matter. Oh, can you hear me? You can? No.
Yes, hon, we can hear you.
Oh, sorry. You're all so brilliant, by the way. This night is intimidating as hell. How old were you, young housewife? 10 fingers counted twice plus 3, 23. What was it about the way your mind worked or didn't in 1968? Too insular with your prosaic upbringing to be daunted by the illustriousness of Daniel Patrick Moynihan, elegant, gracious, sitting on your couch, drink in hand, legs crossed. Your father-in-law, then Eugene McCarthy's campaign manager, sitting next to him, clean Gene, anti-war presidential candidate, his back to the room, pulling Gerald Manley Hopkins from the shelf. Father-in-law annoyed by Gene's distracted campaign style, as he seemed too taken with poetry. This old moneyed snobbery surfacing, even though he was great friends with Robert Lowell and had the Black Panthers in for drinks. Seymour Hersh, freelance reporter, aide to Gene, avoiding stepping on sprawling dogs and cats, paced the room, having learned from a source of a massacre in My Lai, villagers slaughtered, raped, mutilated, murdered, sighs, litany, having the rhythm of passionate poetry. These men of unusual stature and striking looks assembled in your living room, a fleeting once privileged time in your life, your husband mixing more drinks. Before they are called to dinner to eat what you made, vichyssoise, quiche Lorraine, chocolate mousse. And this eventually one of Jean's poems. How old are you, small Vietnamese boy? 6 fingers, 6 years. Why did you carry water to the wounded soldier now dead? Your father? Your father was enemy of free world. You also now are enemy of free world. Who told you to carry water to your father? Your mother? Your mother is also enemy of free world. You go into ditch with your mother. American politician has said, it is better to kill you as a boy in the elephant grass of Vietnam than to have to kill you as a man in the rye grass in the USA. You understand. It is easier to die where you know the names of the birds, the trees, the grass. You will be number 128 in the body count for today. High body count will make Commander-in-Chief of Free World much encouraged. Goodbye, small 6-year-old Vietnamese boy, enemy of free world. Then, in the blink of an eye, the year 2020, a pandemic casting Earth in a black shroud, racism ever entrenched, animal assault at every turn, wild forest fires raging, threatening to destroy your son's new beautiful home, a baby on the way, a nightmare. God, is it true what Nietzsche said? Are you dead? Did we kill you? Are you looking down on our misery and misdeeds, clutching your chest like a guilt-ridden mother, lamenting, what have I done? Now, God, you must remember the untold beauty and goodness you created, the birds, animals, trees, mountains, fields, seas, skies. So the human species might not have been your finest work. Don't weep, nobody's perfect. Besides, who do you think you are, God? Thank you.
Thank you, Joan.
Wonderful, Joan. Who do you think you are?
Thank you, hon. On deck is Sharon True. Up now is Julie Balter.
Okay. Hi, everybody. All right, gonna try to do something a little different tonight and do a little storytelling. So my wanderlust has really caught up with me, and I was dying to take a vacation. Of course, I had to go someplace within driving distance. So what I really wanted to do was to go paddle boarding on the freshwater springs in Florida. So they're all located in like central and North Florida. And I don't have the time to tell you about like the amazing, the geographic phenomena of these springs, that you should really Google it. And I certainly don't have, the words to poetically describe the magnitude of the beauty. So you just have to imagine these cavernous pools of the clearest water you can possibly imagine in the sharpest shade of turquoise. And they're framed by these daunting live oak trees with these branches that are like Medusa hair and tangles of Spanish moss dripping down. So I played it safe, and of all the Florida's 700 springs, I chose Weeki Wachee. And not because of the mermaids that live there, because this is Florida and we have mermaids, and you can Google that too. I'm not making that up. But I chose it because it's a state park. And seeing that knew that I was going into Trump country, I figured that I had the greatest chance that people would be wearing masks there. Well, we all make, the most rigorous research travel plans, and of course something goes awry, not expected. So as I'm traveling there, as soon as I leave Palm Beach County, traveling 4 hours north, and I took the back roads because it's actually shorter than going on the superhighway across Lake Okeechobee. And and I start seeing, as soon as I leave my county, the Trump-Pence signs. And then when I'm within an hour of my destination, it seems like every other house, and you're seeing Trump, Pence, Magna, Make American Great, American flag, Trump, Pence, American flag, Magna, no more bullshit. And it's just going on and on and on and on. And all of a sudden I am caught in so much fear, in so much sadness, because what you have to understand is that I'm an empath, which means that I sometimes have trouble discerning between what's your thought and mine, or what you're feeling in mine. And when on my home turf, I do okay, but when I'm caught in the middle of something that I've never experienced before, I just couldn't tell what was my sadness and fear and what belonged to this region. Whether I was feeling the weight of the entire town's sadness and fear, and there was no discernment there. And this was a very different feeling from back home. When I paddleboard back home, I got this paddleboard during the pandemic as a way to escape when I couldn't go to the beaches. And out on Lake Boca, we'd start to see these boats with the Trump-Pence flags blazing from the boat, and I was shocked. Shocked because I think I live in such a liberal progressive area, and I don't. And it's sort of, the bigger the boat, the big ass boats are always the ones who have the sign. And it's like they took away the last sacred space, of the water, of that moment when, your boat passing by and their boat passing by, and you could just do that nice friendly wave and, yeah, hey, this is beautiful, and we're all both on the water and we're pals. And instead they just poisoned the waters. And so what I felt up in Central Florida was quite different, because this was a complete different demographic. And my mind, I couldn't understand the juxtaposition between this vast beauty of these deep turquoise pools and the hate and fear that encircled them. And that I knew that as deeply offended as I was of them, that they were equally offended of me, and that my life choices cause them great upset and great fear, and that never we could meet. And all I can tell you at the conclusion of this trip is that you must do what Michelle Obama has said and vote as if your life depends on it, because I have taken a political straw poll on my paddleboard, and I'm here to tell you that we have a lot of work in front of us, and that I will continue to go back to these springs because I am an empath. I have to go to nature, and I have to look within nature in order to see my truest reflection. So, thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you, hon. Let's see, we're losing people here. I think on deck is Ted Phelps, and up now is Sharon True. Also first time, yeah, Sharon? You have to unmute. You have to unmute, Sharon.
Yes, thank you, Deb. A little background. Can I do a share screen? Yeah, okay. So some of you know my dog. This is Snowfire. He has now passed. He passed in March. And at the time, or shortly after, my husband wrote a pantoum. Has anyone heard of a pantoum before? A kind of poem? Yeah, I'd never heard of it before, but I will say that it has a structure like this, 4 lines, and then there's an interesting arrangement of second and fourth lines are repeated as the first and third lines, the next stanza, and I found somehow this memorial kind of poem, that this structure suited it perfectly. So I wanted to share my husband's poem with you. So it's written from his perspective. Pantoum for Snowfire. What a sweetie. A cute little puppy. What to call him? His name is Snowfire. A cute little puppy. Riding in the car. His name is Snowfire. He loves to play. Riding in the car. Going for a walk. He loves to play. Chasing his toy. Going for a walk. Running in the yard. Chasing his toy. Chasing the birds. Running in the yard. His tail, his banner. Chasing the birds. Flying in the wind. His tail, his banner. Fluttering. Flying in the wind. He barks and barks. Fluttering. Snowflakes are falling. He barks and barks when I shovel. Snowflakes are falling. He sticks to the path. When I shovel, the deep snow drifts. He sticks to the path. Now that he's older, the deep snow drifts are hard to deal with. Now that he's older, his changing habits are hard to deal with, but we do it. His changing habits, unwelcome demands, but we do it. We love him so. Unwelcome demands. Time is cruel. We love him so. It's hard to let go. Time is cruel and cannot be thwarted. It's hard to let go, but now it's time. Still makes me cry.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, honey. Thank you.
Lovely.
Okay, Ronnie Cunningham is on deck and Ted Phelps is up next. Hi, Ted.
Hello, Deb. Well, right through this wall where Deb and I are sitting is our backyard. It's our backyard. We have a deck there. So here are two poems that I've written in this time of year, right there. But it is 7 years ago I wrote them. Mowing on Sunday. Here on my backyard deck, somewhere on the coastal swath cleansed of the old time stories, I hear them break the placid Sunday air mowing. Yet hear how many, as in their father's time, hold back their labors until noon. Have they stood there long at the backyard door, holding the pull cord, listening for the midday bells? Bells that peeled back the pall that held God's ghost in town this morning. Bells that let it out like a cloud of bats, so it might sleep in the distant trees and never have to see them bent so hard at their moaning machines cutting. So that's one. A little comment on the next one. 7 years ago today, our one child got on an airplane with her best friend to go to China. She never came back. Well, not exactly. She has had some visits to the home for a few days and did a long stay in a monastery in the Catskills, where she became an ordained Buddhist nun. At this moment, she is finishing morning meditation in the monastery in Thailand, where she has lived for the past 14 months. That September afternoon, as I was sitting on my backyard deck and watching on my iPhone flight tracker as her plane to China took off from San Francisco, this poem came welling into me, and the words absorbed tears. The poem's called China Flight. 7 billion people, and I am thinking only of that one. embodied with half my genes, jetting away so fast that even a wave of sound launched like a rocket from this yard, calling after her, would not, traveling at the speed of sound, catch her. Not until she lands, and listening to the wind coming over the China, and listening to the wind coming over the East China Sea, riding the morning sun like a gale of angels singing to her, "Dear one, be well. Our wings will carry your own song back."
Thank you, Ted. Okay, Joanne Spees is on deck, and Ronnie Cunningham. We can't see you, but hopefully we can hear you, Ronnie.
Well, hopefully next time we'll have a camera as well. Some years ago, when my son was 12, I took him to Australia, where he stayed with my brother and his wife, and I stayed in the retirement home where my mother lived. And on Christmas morning, before we all got together, I went into her room and gave her a present that I was almost fearful of giving her. I had made a book of my poems. Most of them were from my childhood. And of course, my point of view of my childhood was going to be rather different from hers. And as I gave it to her, this book that had deckled edge that I had hand sewn, it was a nice looking piece of work actually. She started to read them, and she read all 14 of them, tears pouring down her face. And she said, "I don't know why you thought I didn't like poetry." And I've just moved into the Curtis Hotel in Lenox, and in the process of moving, I came across an envelope exactly or slightly larger than the book I had made for her. And in it was this book of poems, but there was no comment. And I don't remember that there ever was, other than that comment that she made when she read them. Anyhow, I am sorry to have missed the last couple of IWOWs, and I'm thrilled to be back, and I love you all, and I miss Housatonic.
Yeah, we love you too, Ronnie. I'm speaking for everybody. I love it. And I'm glad you're in a nice place. How wonderful.
It is indeed, and it's safe.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Good. Yeah.
Which my outside staircase was not.
Oh, it's a good thing. All right, my dear, thank you. Okay, so Jeannie, you're on deck, if you can hear me, and Joanne Spees is up next.
Thanks, Deb. It's wonderful to see everyone. I loved hearing the poems from songs. I have one called Mildred, about a woman I knew at 78 Washington Place when I lived in the village. She kept mice for pets, and she said that she kept many mice, like 30 mice, and she said they were reincarnated people who promised her a place in heaven. So I wrote a song for her, and I'm going to say it as a poem. Mildred said the mice assured her once or twice they'd meet her in heaven one day. I saw her in the hall with a sheet for a shawl and her power in her hat that was gray. Mildred Save a place for me in heaven. Get me a room with a view. The way you endure when you're crazy and poor keeps the world turning inside of you. Mildred said she knows how the universe goes. It goes like elephants asleep in her dream. The water is the sky, and the elephants rely on Mildred to keep them clean. Mildred, save a place for me in heaven. Get me a rent-controlled room. The way you endure when you're crazy and poor keeps the world turning inside of you. Mildred said she knows how the universe goes. Mildred told me once that Columbus was a dunce. The sea stops at England and France. And everybody knows that the world ends in rows, and the seats get rolled back when you dance. Mildred, please save me a place in heaven. Get me a room with a view. The way you endure when you are crazy and poor keeps the world turning inside of you.
Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you.
Thank you. I love all the waving hands. Okay, Jeannie, you're up.
Hi, everybody. So I thought I'd sort of, because everybody's doing all these beautiful poems and writings and heartfelt songs, I thought I would do something completely that's just kind of pre-poetry. And I have been taking vocal coaching lessons. I've been learning how to sing better. And I thought I would do a couple of my exercises today with you all. That's really about me smearing the notes. It's the octave slide. And so the idea is for me to play with playing, with learning how to sing, which is a concept that I've had a little resistance to. So I'm going to do it in front of you all. Oh, my cat's helping. Okay, so we can do lots of E's, and then we can do ooh. 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 Now here comes my opera singer voice. That's really what I'm supposed to practice. And so forth and so on. Then there are the octave slides. Oh, those were octave slides. There's triads, which I'm just learning. Yum, 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 yum. 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 Anyway, free poetry in action.
Oh my God. Yeah, thank you, Jeannie. That was just
Thank you for sharing that. Oh my God.
so unusual. Okay, this is for everybody.
You can see I have a long way to go.
No, this is for Jeannie, but this is for everybody. Imagine you are a gift with treasures deep inside. All the things you love to do, share them far and wide. Okay, team. Anybody
That-
else? Anybody
that-
else? Yeah?
That's what your IWOW is. Your IWOW is your magic lamp. And you've just given us your gata, you know, your chant, your blessing, Mother. Thank you.
Thank you, Ted.
Can I make a little announcement?
Yes. Oh, thank you for reminding me. Yes. Thank you, Kate. Yes.
Yeah. First of all, thank you so much, Deb. It's always so healing and so lovely, and we're so grateful for you and everybody in the community to still be gathering 6 months in. But I am going to embarrass Robert right now. He has a book that we just got the printed copy in the mail. It's called Ghosts of the Berkshires, and it's available now for pre-order online, but it's going to be in the local bookstores as well if you'd rather shop locally. And it's going to be officially released on the 21st of this month. And on the 21st, there's going to be an event through the Mount where he's going to be Zooming and presenting excerpts from the book, and there's going to be sort of a conversation about the process of writing the book and some of the stories. So do you have anything you want to say about that other than what I said?
Thank you.
But anyway, yeah, we're so excited. This is a long time coming. This is Robert's been a writer all of his life. This is the first book he's ever had published. So this is a big deal.
Bravo. Oh
yeah.
my God.
Thank
And
you.
it's fun, it's
Yeah,
spooky,
man.
and it's fun, and it's sort of a combination of, you know, the lore and spooky stories of the area, but it's also sort of nice because it kind of gives you a little bit of like a travelogue of each place too. So it's a fun combo if you like just learning more about the history of the area too. So yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, bravo. That's great. That's
Coming
great.
out at the beginning of fall. That's great.
Yeah.
I watched some of your videos. Heather.
Mom, did you want to share anything about voting? You have to unmute though.
I've been in touch with Common Cause. They had a training Zoom yesterday, I think it was, on how to browse social media. And if you find disinformation or misinformation, to contact them. If anyone's interested in getting the links for this, please, Deb has my email, it's sarahkaufman@gmail. Get in touch with me. It's an easy thing to do. And so many of us are on social media anyway. And if we can, Common Cause will take things off the media and then put out the correct facts and the truth. So
That's fantastic.
yeah, I thought it was a good way to do something.
Anything you want to say about how we can help get out the vote through League of Women Voters or anything?
Something I'm doing is contacting food pantries throughout the area to leave flyers with them that they put into the food bags and boxes. on filling out the census, registering and voting. And they do the real work. I just need people to contact the food banks and deliver, because I don't drive anymore. So again, if you're interested, send me an email, please.
Or me. Yeah.
Thank you all. Or Deb.
Yeah. Anybody else have an announcement?
Wonderful group of people.
I do, Janice.
I'll make an offer for a dad joke if anybody wants a dad joke to end the night.
A dad joke?
Yeah. Do you want a dad joke? Just
I have an
don't do
announcement
anything
first.
else. What? So here it is.
Dan, just wait a second. Just, I think Janice wants to make an announcement.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want to go after your dad joke. That would be a big mistake. For those of you who identify as a woman, this announcement is for you. Walking Our Talk is holding several circles during COVID. It starts in October and it's all on Zoom, so you can be in a circle in the safety of your own home, whether you're in Florida or Texas or anywhere. And we will have some intro circles, so go to walkingourtalk.org, and it's very important in this time of COVID to connect in a very real and safe way, and Walking Our Talk really offers that. So I encourage you to check it out. If you haven't done it, we've got people here who have been in WAT. Raise your hands. Yeah, Susan, thumbs up. Meryl, Kim, Julie, you're in good. Oh, Sharon, woohoo!
Janice, put the link on chat, okay, for everyone.
Anybody wants to, you have my information. If you want to ask any questions about it, you can feel free to contact me too.
Anybody else have an announcement? No. Okay, Dan is going to give us a dad joke.
Okay, are you ready?
We're
What's the difference between Dubai and Abu Dhabi? The people in Dubai don't like the Flintstones, but the people in Abu Dhabi do.
Closer than I knew.
It's also dad of a certain era gets that. Dabba dabba do.
Wow.
All right, gang. Love you all.
Thank you.
Likewise.
Thank you, Dad.
Thank you, beautiful beings.
Great to see you all.
Everybody, thank
I love
you.
seeing you all.
See you.
I miss
Beautiful.
you. I miss you all.
Yeah, we miss you.
Hugs, everybody.
Bye,
Hugs.
everybody.
Hugs.
Bye.
Elbow hug.
Nobody wants to leave.
Nobody wants to leave.
Oh, gosh.
Hello. Unmuted.
My Zoom is broken. I can't get off.
Oscar. Oh, look at the
He's so handsome. He's such a diva. Like, wait a minute.
It's like the never-ending story. Like the dog in the never-ending story.
Their own resident Falcor.
Yeah.
Cute.
Just very tiny and doesn't want any attention.
Oh,
ever.
no.
Oh,
Bye, everybody. Have a
Bye,
good one.
hi. Congratulations on the book. That's really great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very
So
much.
we get that ghost book. Thanks, Susie Kaufman, for your note.
Oh.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Deb. Thank you for doing this every month.